Good morning, class. The topic for today's discussion is Arduino. Let's talk about Arduino in more detail. The topics for today's discussion is Arduino, the programming basics, its structures and variables, and digital input output. So let's get started. In the previous class, we have already discussed about the development board. So what is actually a development board? It's a printed circuit board designed to facilitate the work with a particular microcontroller. So particularly if we are talking about the Arduino board, it's a printed circuit board designed with the help of Atmega 328 microcontroller. You already have gone through the microcontrollers and microprocessors. You know very well about the difference between the two. So what are the typical components included in a development board? Basically, they are power circuit, programming interface, basic input, usually the buttons and the LEDs, and the IO pins, that is your input and output pins. Looking into the development board, the pins are labeled here. We have the digital input output pins. You can see we have labeled all these pins from 0 to 13 here. The total digital output input output pins are there. We have this power LED over here. We have this reset button over here. We have this in circuit serial programmable programming header over there. We have this IC, that is your microcontroller, at Mega 328. We have this 3.3 voltage low dropout voltage regulator over here. We have both analog and digital pins. As we have seen, we have labeled these digital pins as digital IO pins. We have 6 analog pins over there on this development board, starting from A0 till A5. We have the power pins. We have DC power jack, 5 volts dropout regulator. We have a 16 megahertz crystal. We have a fuse over here, USB jack. We have USB to serial IC over here, transmitter and receiver, LED. This will basically use to indicate whenever you are doing transmission and reception. And we have an onboard LED, that is your LED number 13. So pin number 13 is by default connected with this LED. So in case if you want to use an onboard LED, you can always use a digital pin number 13, so that you need not to connect any external environment just for the testing purpose. Otherwise, we can always connect the hardware via these external input output pins. Let's get ahead. So what is actually a Arduino? Basically, this term we have already discussed in the class. These three terms can mean three different things. It can be referred as a piece of hardware that you can see here. It can be referred as the programming environment, and it can be a community. See, all these three are referred to as Arduino. Let's get started how you are going to proceed with the Arduino. So I would suggest you to have an Arduino board always with you. Once you are going to learn the Arduino board, you can always connect it with your laptop via USB and follow these steps. So you first of all you need to install the Arduino IDE on your laptop. You can always type on Google Arduino IDE, or you can open the Arduino community and you can get the latest updated versions of your Arduino software, IDE software, and you can download and install the Arduino environment. Once you have downloaded and installed the Arduino environment on your laptop, the next step is to you need to connect the board to your computer via USB cable. In case sometimes that USB cable is detected but the port is not visible, once you are going to open your Arduino IDE, what you can always do, you can always update your drivers or install the drivers as per the requirement. Then you can launch the Arduino IDE. Then you can select the board. Particularly, we have a number of boards, so we are particularly going to work with the Arduino board, so we need to select that. I'll be showing you in these next slides. Then you need to select your serial port. Then you can always start with the basic blink example, upload the code, and ready to go. Let's start. So first of all, it will look like this. It will be having a cable, and once you are going to plug in with your USB port of the laptop, this power LED should stay on. And this is the LED that is on board, that is by default connected with pin number 13. And the first program that we are going to write now is to blink this LED. So let's do it. So once you're going to launch your Arduino IDE, there it'll be a blank sketch. Basically it'll be having two entities in it. One is the void setup function, nothing has been written into it, and the void loop function, nothing has been written into it. So this is the code that I have written. So what you need to do is you need to put your code inside these blank sketch. This particular area, input output edit area, this area is known as your sketch. This is your button bar and this is your menu bar, right? So let's go ahead. Let's see. So once you're going to connect your Arduino board with your laptop and launching your IDE, you'll be first able to see this tools. You just click over tools and there will be a drop down menu. From there you need to select the serial port and it will be visible whatever port you have connected with your cable, it will be visible, right? So in case if it is not visible, then you need to update the driver or install the driver, or you can always open the device manager and over there you can update the driver and install the drivers online. So once it is visible, then only you will be able to proceed with it. Next step, you need to go into tools, board, and you need to select the board, which particular board you are going to work with. For example, in our case, we are going to work with Arduino Uno, or it will be sometime visible as Arduino Genuino Uno, right? So you need to select that. Once these two things has been selected, now you have to start writing the code. Now, looking into the previous slide, it'll be a void setup and empty function, nothing has been written on it. So let's start with the blinking of an LED. So blinking of an LED, first of all you should know how to write the pins and how to configure the pins. So to configure the pins, let's start with the basic programming. uh, First of all, you need to set the pin mode. In this setup function, you need to select that which particular pin you are going to work with and whether you are making that pin as an input pin or output pin. So for that, always you need to write pin mode, the pin number and its mode. So pin mode will be as it is, so it's case sensitive, so P should be in small, M should be in capital, and then you need to follow the pin number. For example, in our case we are using it as 13, and then mode will be input or output mode. So we are making it as output mode because we are going to blink an LED. Next is, if you want to read something, you will always use the function digital read from the pin. For example, if I want to read something from digital pin number 13, I'll write digital read 13. Or else if I'm going to write something on pin number 13, so I'll be writing digital write 13 and value. So what can be the value? Value can either a digital value, so it can have only two values, either low or high. So you can always write high or low. So this is the code. So we have used pin number 13 and we have declared it as it's this particular pin in output mode, and then inside the loop you will be writing the code that you want to repeat continuously. So if you want your LED number 13 to blink continuously, so we'll write digital write pin number 13 and we'll set it to on. So that means it is high. Then we give a delay of 1000, that means we are giving a delay of 1 second. Okay, because by default the delay, and if you are going to get only one value inside it, it is 1 millisecond. So in order to make it 1 millisecond, so 1000 into 1 millisecond comes out to be 1 second. So in order to make it to 2 seconds, so you can always put it 2000 or 3000 depending upon your requirement. Then it is on for 1 second. Now I would just want to off it again for 1 second. So again I'll write digital write 13 low and the delay is set at 1000 once again. So this will keep on blinking continuously with the blink rate that you have set with the delay, right? I think this is clear with to all of you. So this is how we are going to connect an LED. For example, if you are going to connect an external LED, we'll connect the positive, that is the anode of the LED, to pin number 13, and the cathode is uh, again just next to the pin number 13 we have a ground, so we'll directly connect the cathode of the LED to the ground. Or otherwise, if you don't want to connect an external led, we are having onboard led. So just give it a try and check if it is working or not. So once you have written the code, the next step is you need to upload the code. So in order to upload the code, what you need to do is you need to compile. Click on compile on inside your if you are just gone through the IDE, we have this compile and we have this upload option. So first, after writing the code, you need to save it into the workspace where you want to save it. Then you need to compile it. Once you have compiled it, then you need to upload the code. So in case your uploading has been done correctly, so the message will be visible like done uploading. If there will be a wrong selection of the port, so there will be an error message. If something is wrong in your code, there is any syntax error, then again it will be visible to you. So you can always correct it and re-upload it, compile it and re-upload it. So these are the steps. You need to compile it, compiling will be done, then upload it, and then the TXRX LEDs will flash on your board, and then the output will be visible on the board, right? So this is how we have learned how to work with it. In the last, I just want to tell how different delays can be given. So in case if you just want to give the delay in few milliseconds, you can always refer delay function. In case if you want to give the delay in microseconds, you can always refer microsecond delay, right? So next, in next lecture, we'll be proceeding with the upcoming topics mentioned in the IP. So thank you so much for the today. In case of any doubt, you can always talk to me on LPU Live. Thank you so much. Have a good day. These are certain good references. You can always refer them.